Yeah, what's up guys? This is gonna be another Jett tutorial. This one's actually on my favorite map, Ascent. It's gonna be similar to the other one that I made, Bind. Just kind of like how to attack, how to defend, kind of like how to use your abilities on Jett, at like an Immortal slash low Radiant level. Um, but yeah, if you guys, before we start, if you guys aren't subscribed, please subscribe. If you guys like these tutorials, please leave a comment. Let me know like if you guys want something like specific, because I can make whatever you guys are sort of interested in. You like op, how to op on different maps, things like that. Okay, so starting off, we can start with A site on attack. Obviously, you don't really want to have Spike as Jett, so give that to one of your teammates, unless you plan on not playing very aggressive. But whenever the round starts, you're gonna be back here. Usually, it's good to shift walk up. I like to come right here, jiggle this because people like to hold this with like vandals and stuff. If you're on pistol round, then you don't have to worry about it as much, but people will still hold here sometimes with like a ghost or something. And people can also quickly make it to over here, so you have to be careful. You have to clear here, and then clear here, and then if you wait too long, they can also go back to wine. So you gotta keep that in mind. So when you're ready to take site, it's good to kind of like just check and see if you can like pick someone. People often sit like back here, here. People also like to sit behind this. You can actually spam this box. People sometimes can sit there, but not usually. So if you don't see anything, which is pretty common sometimes, you're gonna want to have your team smoke. If you have Omen or Brim, it doesn't matter. You're gonna want to have them smoke right here and for heaven. That's the ideal thing anyway. If you're alone, then you know, unlucky. But I usually what I do is if I'm trying to go fast, I throw smoke, dash into it, and kind of back up a little bit because they're gonna expect you to, you know, push through it. So, you know, if this is smoked, you need to have a teammate close this. You can go over here and close it if you want, but I like to dash in. You kind of walk up on site. You clear back site. You don't want to run it because people will hear you. You can also dash, walk up like this. Make sure you're clearing stuff. If you walk all the way like this as your team's coming up, they're not going to be looking here. If they're playing backside or hell, it's completely necessary to clear backside as well as hell like this. So you like once you clear that, you just say, okay, team, it's clear. And at this point, you know, you get the bomb down. Usually default. You know, you have full control of site. If you have to fight anyone, you know, fight them. But otherwise, you have sight. You want to close this here. The door's gonna close. You can either push through if you want to play aggressive, or you can just sit on site. It kind of depends on how the rest of your team is playing. I sometimes like to play aggressive like this. It depends kind of like how quickly you take the site as well. So you can come into the site like this, come through the door, clear this. You know, if you hear them rotating, it's really good to lock all the way up like this. You get free kills. People almost never expect you here, unless you do it multiple times in a row. You don't want to go much further than this though. You can do this. You can also flank heaven if you know the last people are in heaven. That's really about it for attacking A site though. There's yeah. Also, when you come out, make sure that you're being aware of all the corners. They could sit here, 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 or here. And there's a lot of shit on backside, obviously. So that's about it. Oh, another thing you can do with your ult. This isn't super great, but it's still a thing you can do if you know people play like on heaven every round or something. You can ult, double updraft, or updraft once. You can see kind of in this area. It's not good for like back here, but it's good. It's really good for here in heaven. So yeah, keep that in mind if you are playing against someone that likes to sit in heaven and hold. You can kill an opera like that. Yeah, let's move on to attacking B site. Okay, so again, obviously you're probably not gonna want the spike, so give that to someone else unless you plan on playing super passive, which means you probably shouldn't be on Jett. But so from B side, we'll talk about mid next. Let's just talk about B main for right now. So the round starts, you know, Sova. If there's a Sova team, there's a very good chance they're gonna be playing toward B and shoot shock darts, recon darts, and have their drone ult. So be careful. You know, if you know recon darts every round, you need to wait and shoot that, or just wait it out entirely. So the first real threat is right here. This is very similar to A main, so you need to clear this. You can pre-fire it if you want. And this is also similar to A main. If you clear this, there's no one there. There's a chance someone can already be over here, or all the way in this corner. So you need to walk kind of like this. Make sure that you're being aware of this corner here whenever you're walking up. To make it to this point, you're doing good. For your team, you're gonna want to have them smoke CT and market. So this spot and this spot. That's gonna give you a lot of cover for getting to site. So once you're here and these things are smoked, you're telling your team, okay, let's go. You can do the same thing. You can kind of dash, or you can just kind of walk up, clear lane. So I would usually like to play on site or like right here. But yeah, you can dash like I just did with the smoke, or you can just kind of walk. You need to make sure there's a lot of corners to clear. People like to sit here often. Here. So your main job as Jett is to kind of play aggro like this. So it's good to hit the lever. And then what I like to do instead of, I mean, you can help clear sight, but if your team's all running out and they're kind of safe, then you can kind of play like this. Make sure no one's gonna flank your team through the smoke. But yeah, if your whole team's on site and you have one like B-man or something, you can kind of play like this. People sometimes clear this corner, but if you're a lower rank, then people will probably never clear this, and you just kind of get a free kill. You can also kind of pre-peek if you really want, and then also you can catch people off from CT because they won't expect you to be here super often. It's also okay to walk up like this in CT if you want to play aggressive. You can play in this corner and wait for them because people also don't expect this until they're dead. So for taking B site, you can go from lane. This is pretty standard. Again, be careful if there's like an arrow or drone. You can spam this really easily. So people often tend to sit. They can sit in many spots. People like to sit behind this box. You can sit like under this and hide until you jump down. Usually, I just try to play. I just try to go super fast, clear everything, make sure there's no one here. Tell my team, okay, it's clear. You know, there's not much to do here, honestly. Jett, you can play back if you really want, but like I said, it's usually better to just kind of play aggressive. I like that this is my favorite spot. You can also do a lot of stuff. CT, push market, flank CT, push CT, flank market, play B main, late, and peek out. You can also play over here. This is kind of risky because you have that, but you can hold both. But make sure you just let your team know it's what you hear because you have a much better audio than people on site do with like CT and market. So that's the main thing with B site. Yeah, that's really about it, honestly. You can have someone play B main late, like I said earlier, usually pretty good. But for yourself as Jett, that's the main thing. Also, you can also do this with your ult. If you know specifically where they play on site, like very consistently. It's kind of risky though. You can also do that on defense, but I'll show you on defense what it looks like. It's not as good on attack, but you can also kind of do it for market like this. So right in the market, and even CT if you really want. But yeah, people won't often expose themselves that easily. So yeah, let's move on to attacking mid. Okay, so when attacking mid, there's two different entrances to mid. There's the one here from the B side of the map, and then there's one here that connects the cat from A side of the map. So from B, this is called mid link or tiles, whatever you want to call it. There's a couple things you need to worry about whenever you're peeking. Main thing is cat right here. People like to hold this with Vandal, Op, Rifle. Just be careful when you're peeking out. Is Jett, it's good to go like this. You can smoke. If you smoke this and your team's behind you, you can kind of peek up here. It's possible for enemies to be behind the wall here or here. So obviously it's not very easy to clear that by yourself, but if you want to make an aggressive play, it's good to do this. You can kind of walk up, kind of play slow. If you make sure you hold this for a few seconds, make sure no one's peeking, because if you do this and then someone peeks from there, it's just you're just dead. Yeah, you go like this, kind of clear. I kind of like to walk up on the left side in case someone's peeking for market. Check pizza. Maybe start to kind of clear market. And then throw a smoke. And then you gotta be careful of this area here. They can hide there. Not too often do people do that, but yeah, then you're into here, and it's the same thing as taking B before. If you're feeling really aggressive, or you want to make even like a 1v2 or something, and you're flank spawn, or you're trying to cut someone off, you can sit in this corner. It's really good for catch people off guard. You can sit up like this too. This is kind of risky because I can see you from here. But if you just wait here, like say your team is rotating from A to B or B to A, it is really good to catch people off in CT because people usually run with their knives out. Honestly, even in Immortal, sometimes people just run with their knives out. No one expecting you to be here. But if you do it multiple times, obviously be careful. So that's for mid. You can also throw one ways here. You know, catch people off guard like that. Going for market. Yeah, mostly it's good to be quiet. If you know no one plays mid, you should definitely take advantage of that. Yeah, for cat, you know, they can also be hiding. If you're watching this, or you smoke it, they can go hide in that corner. But for attacking mid from the A side of the map, which is also pretty common. Oh yeah, by the way, you can also tell your team to smoke here or cat if you want to make a play in one direction more than the other. Same thing for when attacking cat. I usually don't have my teammates smoke because it kind of, I feel like it gives away my position more. Like if I tell someone to smoke a mid, people on cat are going to be more cautious because like they don't see, people mid can't see cat. So what I like to do from A side of the map, I'll tell my team, okay, I'm going to walk up cat and just try to get a pick. And I kind of just watch like this because like I said, they can still be behind this technically, so you gotta be careful. And then here I like to walk up like this, clear this. You don't need to shoot, just keep walking. Clear this corner. And if they're not here or holding here, this means almost certainly they're going to be in tree or holding this angle. They can also be right here, so you have to clear this. But if there's still no one, you still see no one. This door's still closed, but there's still no one. This door shouldn't always be closed. At this point, this probably means someone's just sitting on site, so you can probably just flank spawn if you're alone. If you're with your team, you probably want to help take site here. But if you're alone, you can flank like this. Be cautious, check your corners, obviously. You know, make sure someone's not rotating here. You can catch them in CT. You flank all the way heaven. This is really strong play. If they don't hear you, you don't make any noise, and you know, your team doesn't make it too obvious that you know what's going on. This is a play definitely to do alone though, not with teammates. Better if your team's making noise. So yeah, obviously clear sight like before, and that's pretty easy, honestly. The main thing you need to be careful of with this, also whenever you're walking up like this, if no one's on B side of the map, you want like a sentinel to cover this, like a turret or a wire. Someone can just push and kill you, so you gotta kind of be cautious there. Just you don't have to necessarily aim there, but just make sure you're aware that you can get shot from there. Same thing with mid. So clear like this. That's how you take mid though. It's mid on Ascent's pretty odd, but it's you know, pretty good map in my opinion. So yeah, let's move on to defending. Okay, so when defending A site, I usually like to play pretty close because I like to play aggressive. I like to get like intel for audio. So if I hear something, I'll tell my team, and if I don't hear anything within the first few seconds, I'll just start to like rotate toward cat or all the way through spawn, depending on what my teammates are telling me. So I like to play kind of like this. You don't have to peek necessarily. Like sometimes I buy a Judge or a Bucky and I play like close like this, or you can play up here as Jett. Kind of do like this, but this is only good if you really expect them to come A. Like this is a really good cheese spot because people rarely will clear this, but you know, only play up here because like if you're playing up here and they're just gonna go B, then it's not worth it. So make sure you do it whenever you expect them to go A. If you want to play peek aggressively, you can kind of jiggle. If you have an op, you can just hold this. One thing you do have to be aware of is someone can jump up here. I didn't actually say that on attack, but you can jump up there. It's not super great, but it's good whenever someone else is peeking here with you, because it's almost impossible for you to kill both unless you only fight one of them. But you can fight like this. It's also possible to sneak over here if they start in like mid. You can hold an angle like this, and if they come A main, you literally kill all of them. It's pretty nice. You can push, but I'm not really gonna go into that. It's kind of, you know, you just need to make sure you're not making too much noise. Clear corners. There's a lot of corners here, so just be careful. If you are here and you don't hear anything in the first like 3, 4, 5 seconds, I usually on Jett you're gonna have someone else playing here, like a Cypher or something. So I kind of like to walk over to Cat, and then maybe like peek like this a little bit. Depending on what my team's telling me, of course, I'll play all this differently. If we know someone's mid, or like multiple people are mid, I won't fight. I'll just kind of like play an off angle like this and wait for them to walk up cap, because people usually clear this, but they don't usually expect you. If you're expecting them more than they're expecting you, you get 3 kills. And if there's a bunch, you can just kill one, dash away. If you have like a judge, you kill all of them. You can also op right here. It's a really good place to op on defense. Same with A main. That's about it though for defending A. There's one more thing actually. Yeah, I guess I could talk about playing on site, but I don't do this much on Jett. You can play back here like this. I wouldn't suggest doing that on Jett though. But if you are rotating from mid or B as Jett with your ult, this is really, really good. I actually got 2 kills like this today. You can updraft anywhere along this wall. Actually, it's over here. Sorry. You double updraft like right here. And unless you're like alone, if another teammate's like shooting or something, or someone's on site, this is really good. You could just, like, I just tapped people like right there earlier today. 3 kills. Make sure you're, make sure you don't do it too much because they'll start to expect it. And you'll get one tapped, but this is a really good strat to pull out. But yeah, let's go on to defending mid. So as of recently on Jett, I started playing more aggressively mid on Ascent. You can't play passive like in market like this. This is one of my favorite spots to play in market. Just close here because people clear almost everything but this corner, it feels like, honestly. Like, some people might clear this, but they won't clear it usually until they know you play here or realize that this is a spot you can even sit. So, play like this, just wait. You don't need to peek aggressively. But what I like to do, you can sit pizza as well. This is a spot that's checked a lot though, so you gotta be careful. What I like to do, I start like, I think the barrier's like somewhere here, but I just kind of walk up whenever the run starts, and I peek here with either a Vandal or an op, and you hold here with an op or something. You can hold here with an op. If there's nobody, you can just walk, and if your team's calling fast A or fast B, you just like flank. You make sure you're being cautious that one's not lurking. So like they're saying or fast A, you just flank like this with your shift walk. You know, clear, be cautious, but you can get multiple kills like that, 2 or 3 kills just with a flank. So clear the round for your team. Same thing with B. But if there are people here, you take the fights with them. You get a kill, you get back up, because that should already be the round for your team. If they don't throw it away. You can also play here, like market. You can op here, or just hold this. Or if they know you play there, you can just wait for them to start running out, like this, and start shooting them here. That's a pretty good thing you can do. You can also play back mid. This is good, mainly if you're like rotating from A or B to mid, and they're like pushing on mid or something. You can peek here with a rifle or an op or whatever you have. Try to get a quick kill, come back. It's also possible to go like this. You can just jump small like this normally, but it's hard to get a kill unless you updraft. Be careful because you expose yourself quite a lot if there's people mid. That's pretty much it for mid though. There's not much to defending mid. Just to make sure you're calling whenever you're getting pushed. Another thing is you can updraft on this. I didn't mention this on attack because I don't normally use it, but it's definitely something you can do. So keep that in mind. You can also updraft onto this. I do that sometimes, but usually only with ult. So yeah, let's move on to defending B site. Okay, defending B site, you're not going to be spending a lot of time here usually, unless it's very early in the round or very late in the round. By that I mean, I usually start here expecting a fast push, or I'm rotating late here because they're rotating from another area on the map. And that's because you usually have like a killjoy here with a turret up there and like some just cringe shit all along along lane. But yeah, if they're not here quick in the first like 3, 4, 5 seconds, I would just suggest rotating to mid, because you're much more valuable there as Jett, or you can just full rotate to A if your team's calling A. So yeah, you can play aggressive here, kind of like this, you know, same sort of jiggle thing. If you hear people, you can hold it, try to get a tap off or an op shot, and then dash away or run away. And then if you hear no one, but you hear people like toward mid link right here, you can walk into this corner. I wouldn't play all the way in this corner. I would play an off angle like this, So people, even if people start to clear it, you get the jump on them. I sometimes even hold like this because you can see if people go in this corner for whatever reason, or want to grab the orb. And then again, you can just dash out, smoke dash out, whatever, whatever you'd like. This is another thing right here. I like to jump up on this. Oops. You can jump up on this and updraft. And it's pretty good, but again, you're kind of exposed there, so you have to have really quick aim to kill someone like that. But there's another place you can opt from. I've almost never used this because it's kind of risky, but yeah. So other than that, if I'm not wanting to play aggressive, you can play. I use this spot quite often actually. If I have a killjoy that can bait for me from like stairs or just here, CT or whatever, people will actually, you'd be surprised how often people do not clear logs. Like, I was doing it earlier, I got full blinded by a Reyna flash, it's just right here, I didn't even shoot it, and they just ran out. Two of them just ran out right here, they're just facing that way. I tabbed both of them, and then took a fight with another one, but I died, but it's still fine because I got two. Like I said, I like to defend from here for market. If I have like a rifle or an op. You can also play here. I don't usually play here. It's kind of not a great spot. You get spammed through it, and people usually come here because of the lever. So other than that, you can play on side or back side, but again, you're playing passive Jett, so I wouldn't suggest that unless you really expect a B push. You can sit under here with like a judge or something. Actually, this is not a bad spot to sit. If you place yourself correctly, you can kind of wait until they're running up like right about here, and then just swing on them, spray or use your judge or whatever you have. If it's smoked, it's even better because you get a free kill and you dash your run back to site. That's about it for Ascent though. You can, if you're retaking B, you can go like this. I got a kill like this earlier. You can kind of see people that are sitting back side. You give your team vision. Gotta be careful for B main if they have site control. There's a lot of them. Yeah, Ascent's a really good map for Jett. Honestly, it's my favorite. It's really nice. There's a lot of high ground spots. Really good for opping on Jett. Yeah, let me know if you guys want an operator tutorial for like a specific map or any map. Because I recently started opping more. I almost never opt actually. Like just recently I started, and it's pretty easy, but there's a few things you have to learn to kind of, you know, get a little bit better at it, but that's about it, honestly. Yeah, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and have a good day.